Try to make English out of what it was.
Our returning sponsor.
Proud to welcome back our returning sponsor, Compex USA.
Go over to CompexUSA.com, enter promo code PowerCast, and get 20
pairs of what?
28% off.
I like it.
28%, which, as I understand, is 28% more off because it's already on sale through the end of the year. So you get another 28% off.
Me and Smelly have been using the Bluetooth one, the wireless version. You can walk around, easy to set up.
I use that sucker every day. 25% off is not enough. So here at the PowerCast, we decided to do 28.
There's
we
3 of
us.
us.
30 because it's too fancy of a number, so
There
we're
you go.
28. Only here at the PowerCast.
Exactly.
Code PowerCast, CompexUSA.com.
Please note that the Compex offer is for a limited time only. Use the code PowerCast to get a 28% discount. We're also supported by HowMuchABench.net, home of Mark Bell's Slingshot. Bench heavy with no pain with Mark Bell's Slingshot. Apparel for strong people from 8manstrong.com and bodybuilding.com. Bodybuilding.com is the world's largest fitness website and supplement store. Bodybuilding.com has free fitness plans for every level. Visit bodybuilding.com today to become your best self. And speaking of bodybuilding.com, our guest for episode 175 is, among many other things, a bodybuilding.com spokesmodel. Ashley Horner, in some ways, proves that you really can have it all. She's a mother to 3 little boys. She's been a pro fitness competitor. She's an entrepreneur. She's an ultra runner and triathlete. She has her own training facility, her own kids exercise website, surf clothing line, a charitable foundation that, among other things, supports spouses of deployed military members and women and children escaping violent homes. And she has a cafe that sells whiskey and coffee. I feel like I have forgotten something, but it doesn't matter. You'll get it in the episode. If you like this episode, please hit the like and the share button and enjoy number 175 with Ashley Horner.
Right away, I was like, hey, come on the podcast. It'd be cool to have you. She's like, I'm not never going on that podcast.
Yeah, because
You're fucked.
I was listening to some of yours. It was pretty.
What? Pretty awesome.
Content.
I was like, oh my gosh, are they really talking about that?
What do you think about all this?
California. This is
Perfect.
We try to make it safe to talk about anything.
Alongside Silent
something
Mike
like
and
that.
Jim McD, here's your host, Mark Bell.
It's your cue, buddy.
I
Yeah,
didn't know what's going on.
You're allowed to speak now.
We're supposed to talk.
Yeah, I think people are listening.
Today was fun, doing all that stuff in the gym,
Yeah.
seminaring and workshopping and whatever else going
Miss
on.
Horner, you do a lot of that stuff, yeah? You always have camps.
Yeah.
Me and Mark do seminars sometimes when we travel, but I feel like a lot of stuff we do is not super official. We'll just post about it, but you do some official shit.
Yeah, I have my boot camps.
Yeah. How do those go? Something like today?
Yeah, it's big. We have anywhere from 100 to 200 people.
Boot camp sounds serious.
Yeah.
too.
Why do you make it like that? Why is it?
Because we can do all body weight stuff.
So you're like G.I.
But
Jane?
I smoke them. I whip their ass. Yeah.
Is that kind of the point? Is to get people breathing hard, get people sweating?
Yeah, because they underestimate what just a body
Yeah.
weight exercise can do.
Yeah,
so.
right.
Yeah. So.
How long is a camp like that? How many hours, and then is it multiple days?
It's just one day, and it's for 45 minutes.
Oh,
You
And
literally
they're-
just more like a class then. They show up, you whoop their ass, and
Yeah.
they leave, and you say,
Yeah.
get the hell out of here.
Yeah, no, I talk to him afterwards. I spend about an hour talking to him, taking pictures.
You have your own gym,
Yep, I have my own training facility in Virginia Beach.
Cool.
Called American Sled Dogs.
and you kick people's ass there all the time. Then you also travel a little bit, doing the same thing.
Yeah, a lot of traveling. So we have the Camp Valor, and we travel just pretty much stateside for now. So, but we have 6 camps a year.
Right.
So it's a lot of fun.
It's pretty cool when you push people to that intensity. What we see with powerlifting a lot of times is, people start to do things that they didn't think they could do before. You kind of find the same thing.
Yeah. I think that people don't really ever reach their full potential. They keep a lot of it locked inside, and that's where we come along as influencers.
We're a
and,
little different. I think you're psycho.
Motivators, and we push them to the next level.
Within 6 months, we're all a little different. Mark and I and Jim, we like to lift weights, and we like to eat food. You
to lift and rest a lot.
Yeah, and then we sleep. We'll watch some TV. You actually do this quote unquote push yourself beyond other limits. Where 6 months ago you ran 300 miles.
280.
Same shit. 300 miles. We round up. 300 miles in a week.
Yep, 6 days.
And then you just rode something. Put it in
And then
miles. Put it in miles because I don't know what the hell.
I rode 300 miles. So I ran 280 miles, and then I rode 300 miles, which I was so it took me an hour to complete 10,000 meters,
Oh,
and
man,
I
here goes
was
the
doing 80,000 meters a day. So I was rowing for 8 hours a day.
In a boat?
No, next time I think I'm going to do a boat because I set my ass on the Concept 2 rower.
Yeah, it must have hurt.
Yeah, I still have a pancake ass.
Got to squat more.
I know. I need to start squatting more.
When you run that far, how many days does that take?
That took
365?
yes.
A mile a day. I could do a mile a day.
That would be tough.
I'm gonna start to promote that.
Yeah, instead of squat every day, a mile a day.
I'll do a mile a day. I mean, it's still not easy,
You
but
are supposed to take 10,000 steps a day?
yeah. I bet
10,000 steps,
I'm not
Do you
even
have
close.
your little stepometer on?
What's a mile?
You know you're supposed
My
to be wearing
Fitbit?
your yes.
My Ashley Horner
question.
Do you
Fitbit.
have your stepometer?
I probably don't even.
We need to start regulating that.
No, dude. I sit
Yes,
on the
we
couch
do.
all the
need?
time.
I know. We need to talk about
You
that.
have some sort of special watch? You got like a Fitbit or something, or just
no,
a watch?
this is just a G-Shock. But I do. I have a Garmin that I use depending
Cool.
on what I'm doing. So
When you do these boot camp things, are you screaming at people?
yeah.
You yelling
yelling.
at people? You have headphones on or something like that?
Depending on the location,
Yeah.
yes, and then
You
depending
get-
on the size of the camp.
Madonna style with the.
No,
Yelling
but I
at
need to get that for next year.
Abdullah style.
Telling people that are all worthless and weak?
Yeah.
What was the start of all this?
2,000 steps.
Bodybuilding was the first start.
Mm-hmm.
But what was like before that in terms of being like a trainer or lifter or fitness? Soccer?
Yeah, I played ODP, which is Olympic Development Programming, and I traveled around the United States for that. And that started me out, and I played competitively my whole career of soccer, and then I did the ODP, and then I lived in Guam for a little while, being a contracted trainer for the military, and I I tried out for the Guam's women's national team out there. So, but I was 2 weeks shy of eligibility to be able to play in their first game against Japan. So, but I got to practice and play and everything with them, so it was pretty cool.
That's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Did you lift weights for soccer or not really?
I did a little bit. It was this was more in the beginning of my career, so I did my first figure competition. I think that's where a lot of people get into it, and I just loved the challenge, and I enjoyed seeing how far I could push my body,
Right.
and I fell in love with it. So
That's cool. How
Yeah.
long have you had your gym for?
about a year and a half now. So we've already had to move locations. We moved locations once, and then we expanded to an extra 2,000 square feet last month. So
Cool.
it's growing fast.
What kind of facility is it? Is it like you've seen Super Training? Is it a little bit like that?
No, we have turf inside our gym. We do have a lot of power lifters that come
Gotcha.
into our gym. We have power racks, and we do a lot of Olympic lifting. So we're really just a hybrid facility.
Maybe
we
like
also
a little university style, like something you might see at a college. You got turf and
Yep.
some sports
Similar.
specific stuff and things like that.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then you also said that you have a coffee shop.
I do. It's called American Brew.
Are they near each other, the coffee shop and the gym?
They're about 15 minutes apart.
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
yeah.
What made you start a coffee shop?
Coffee and?
Coffee and whiskey.
Ooh.
So it's a coffee bar in the mornings. I mean, you can have coffee all throughout the day, and you can have whiskey all throughout the day as well. I guess it just depends on what you have going that day and what you're in the mood for. Or we
You have
can mix
some-
them both together.
Yeah, the
That's
drinks
amazing.
that come together. Yeah.
Oh.
We have Irish
Sign
coffees
me
and stuff.
up.
Yeah. So I originally got
Is it
the.
any type of coffee like
So we don't do-
company, or is it your own thing, your own coffee shop?
It is my own coffee shop.
okay,
so
cool.
and we just recently got our own beans. So
Oh, that's very cool.
So
Thanks
they're-
for sending us some.
I know what
We appreciate
no,
it.
Beans.
I
right?
I haven't even got to taste them
We
yet.
appreciate it.
So they all got roasted and packaged, and
That's pretty cool.
Whenever I get back, yeah, it's called The Shore, we're on Shore Drive, which is a popular road in Virginia. But I was inspired to do a coffee whiskey shop by my good friends who live in Colorado. It's called the Bellwether Cafe, and they do something similar. Cool. But I have a foundation. It's called the Unbroken Foundation. It's for battered women. So opening up the coffee shop, I really
awesome.
wanted to provide a place where women who are coming out of these shelters could come and find a place to work.
Right.
So eventually, I'd like to open up a couple across the United States, and then if
Good for you.
a woman needs to be transferred from like one shelter to another shelter, then they can have like a place of employment.
That's very cool.
So yeah, that's good.
Why is that something that matters to you?
Because it's just a place, where I think that women are the most broken, I
Right.
guess. And they are so, they don't have anybody who's ever truly believed in them before,
Right.
and they have never been able to surround themselves with a group that can be a leader for them and show them that, you know, they don't have to live that life forever, that there are ways to get out of the situation that they're in. And they
so
just
complicated, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, everyone always thinks, oh, you get abused. Like, why wouldn't you just get out of it?
It's
like
very,
so
very difficult.
It's so complicated. Yeah.
It's very complicated, and you know, depending on the shelter, they can only stay there for a couple months. It's usually like a 3-month turnaround, and then they have to go find a place to live because they can only house them for so long. So it just depends. You know, it's scary, and if whoever is abusing them, you know, doesn't get put behind bars, or they probably
Right.
get out in
Yeah.
bed.
End up right back
and,
in it.
and it's even further complicated by the fact that sometimes people that are inflicting the abuse are either drug addicted, bipolar, or some other mental
Yeah.
illness, or a combination thereof. And
Right.
that makes it really complicated because somebody could be telling you they love you, they could be saying they're sorry, they could be saying all these things, and then they just keep doing the same pattern again and again
Right.
and again.
Yeah, I think on
Right.
both sides of the picture, like
Yeah.
there's always layers to everything, you know, and so some people get stuck in a cycle that can really jack them up. Like 2 years ago, I think with Reebok, we had the itinerary. We were like at our summit in Boston, and there's all this stuff, and then it says like team event or something. None of us knew what it was. We ended up at a shelter in a not so nice area that was for moms and just their kids.
Yeah.
And we just did some gardening and stuff and tried to help spruce things up because like funding's not there. Like a lot
Right.
of them I think are even private and get like nothing from the government. And so like I think you did something similar with one of your runs or
I
rows
did.
where you
Yep.
try to just get some funds because like money isn't the answer to everything, but money can
Right.
definitely help certain situations. But I think what you do at the coffee place is even cooler. Like I said, like money doesn't always solve issues, or it doesn't always
Right.
go to the best place.
Yeah. So right now we have like 50 cents for every cup of coffee that's bought goes back to the Unbroken Foundation, which right now we're raising money to get everybody in the shelter that I work, especially close to in North Carolina, jackets. But recently, because of Reebok and, you know, the sponsorship that I have, I was able to buy all the women and children brand new shoes, which I think they just got delivered
Yeah.
this week.
Oh,
So
wow.
that was pretty cool. But the
That's
reason
amazing.
why I did the 280-mile run was to raise money for the shelter that they needed a new roof.
Right.
And so we had a goal of raising $15,000.
Can't be a
and then-
shelter without a roof.
I know. Yeah. So whenever I went and visited, it was like there were so many holes in the roof, and
Yeah.
you know. So, anyways, it's amazing, and it's really it's very. It's a huge blessing to be able to take what I'm doing socially and have an impact on the community and really use that for a greater good.
How do you make people aware, or do you bother to make people aware of the people that come into your coffee shop? Are they aware that what their 50 cents is doing?
Yeah, we have signs.
You have signs up and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we talk to them, the baristas that we have,
Right.
you know. Yeah, everyone's very much aware.
That's cool. The feedback's probably pretty positive, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
People are probably pretty excited.
everybody enjoes, you know,
Yeah.
being able to give a little bit, you know,
Right.
indirectly back
Yeah.
to a good cause.
It makes a lot of
So,
sense. I mean, you are kind of getting overcharged for coffee anyway.
Right.
and it's a luxury.
Yep.
You know, and a lot of times, you know, at the coffee shop I go to, they overcharge you. They make you wait forever, and I love the coffee, and I still always give them $1, like,
Right.
and they don't even, you know, I still always give them a tip and stuff like that. So it makes sense. Like
Right.
you already have these people that are kind of enjoying this luxury. They can probably afford to put some money towards something, and rather than just stick money in someone's pocket that you don't know what it's going towards, you have this fundraiser where it's going somewhere, which is really cool. It's smart.
Yep.
Work provides structure too, and dealing with any kind of emotional problem, any kind of emotional situation is always better if there's some kind of structure, because you're not like, you know, out at sea with it and where it can just buffet you at any time. If you're
Right.
if you're working, if you have to be someplace at a particular time and you have particular responsibilities. And so
Yeah, we always talk about the gym in that way, where like something's weird or good, bad, whatever. Like you always kind of have to have a goal, and even if it's 100% unrelated,
Right.
Like obviously, hopefully, some of these women's goals to like get out of their situation or make a better life for them or their kids or whatever. But if they have a goal that's in the gym, or have a goal like, yeah, I got to go to work, or yeah, I got to, you know, you have your mind somewhere else, and then. Like we talk about in the gym, you go day by day, step by step, heading towards that goal. Soon you realize, like, oh, I deadlifted 315 because I did this every day. Oh, I could get a job, or I could buy this house, or I could buy this car if I do this every day.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's just so easily transferable.
yeah.
How did you get a sponsorship with Reebok? Because it's kind of rare for you're specifically a trainer, right, and coach.
Yes,
Right?
I do. I'm a person of many trades.
Yeah, you got a lot of, yeah.
Don't put me in no box.
Yeah, yeah. You got a lot of things going on.
I
right?
do.
Correct, but predominantly that's what you've been known for, I guess, right?
Yep.
And that's
many years.
kind of what led to a Reebok sponsorship, right?
Yep, correct.
You didn't get a Reebok sponsorship for being an athlete,
No.
more for being a coach, trainer.
Right. Yeah.
How'd that come to be?
Well, actually, it was really simple. It was November of last year, 2015, and I have a team of girls who just help manage my business. And so we have all our emails go into the team account. And it was like maybe a week after Christmas or a few days, Thanksgiving. And they forwarded me a email from Reebok, and they're like,
Who?
From Reebok.
From
Mr. Reebok.
From Man Bun.
Oh, it's from Man Bun.
Man Bun. And they're
Smelly
like,
nose Man Bun.
yeah,
I do.
Yeah, I love that guy. They're
He's
like,
okay.
I think this one's legit, and I read it, and it was like, it was from Man
hard to
Bun,
tell
Andrew.
what's legit and what's
It
not,
really
yeah.
is, yeah. And it was Andrew, and he's just like, I just would like to get on the phone with you and talk to you for a few minutes if you have time, or if somebody, your manager, somebody has time to get on the phone and speak with me. And I was like, yeah, I have a lot of time. Like, yeah, I'll call you right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was pretty surreal. So.
That's cool.
And I signed with them in January of 2016.
Any idea how they heard of you? Just social media, or
So I have a private Facebook group, and it's called Becoming Extraordinary. And it's where my group of true raw fans live and support me. And I think it was just somebody in the group who knew Andrew, who's my manager now for Reebok. And they were just like, yo, you got to check out this girl. And so I think it was just more of a word of mouth thing. So I don't know. I love Reebok, and I'm very, very blessed and fortunate however that came about, And plus I get to hang out with pieces of shit like Silent Mike.
I actually told
True
Andrew.
love.
I told Andrew not to sign you, but
No.
he didn't decide to that.
Oh, I told him the same thing about you. So
I was
he
already
obviously really listens to us.
I was already there 3 years before you.
Well, good thing I came along and revamped everything.
You don't want to hear what he had to do to get in that.
Yeah, Man Bun was in my private group. If you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, everything's connecting now. I get it. Your guys' late night dates, long walks. Mm-hmm.
We did have a mandate a couple times.
Yeah, I know you did. Now I know.
Disgusting.
Now I know how it went on.
Yeah, that guy just stole a Ford truck and he's going to drive across the nation.
is he?
Yeah.
Drive it like you stole it.
Look it up. Fox Business.
Yeah.
I think, Man Bun had this goal of, I think Ford just donated them a truck, Reebok in general, and Man Bun tried to claim it, I think. I mean, don't quote me on any of this. We talk about this all the time. All my facts
50%.
they're all 50% correct and 50% who knows.
Okay, you got to narrow it down for me.
Do Fox Business Reebok. See if that pops up. It was in the news yesterday.
Oh, in the news yesterday.
Soon. There you go.
There it is, right
maybe.
there. Yep, that's it. I
Yeah.
read the article.
Oh, really?
Because-
Whose name's in the article? Hey.
They had
Hey.
you, Corey Gregory,
And
and
Jamie?
Jamie Eason.
Yeah. So he got this truck, and he's like, I'm gonna take this thing on tour, like a fit
Oh,
truck.
I get it.
And so he threw some stuff in there. He had it shelled out or whatever, so it looks all cool. And he wants to stop at a bunch of gyms. You might be the first one
I am.
next week. He left today, I think.
Oh, he did. Then I'm not.
You're
the first
second
one. Yeah.
because he's like going to New York, doing some shit. I don't know what, like events and lifting and this and that. Maybe giving out sneakers, and then he is going to Virginia, I think, and then
Right.
maybe South more because he's from North Carolina. So I bet you want to go home and
Probably.
do something cool.
It's gonna make a loop.
Yeah, and then he's going to loop up through I think the Midwest. And then maybe come south and end up out here. I know that was the last goal. He's just trying to go through LA and then finish here.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I feel compelled to read this paragraph. Some of the on-the-go exercise gurus include Hardbody Entertainment's world's fittest model Jamie Eason, Corey Gregory, the creator of the Squat Everyday program, and Silent Mike Farr, co-host of the popular fitness podcast PowerCast and powerlifting expert.
Yeah, pretty
Boom.
cool.
Fox
Yeah, Fox,
Entertainment
yeah.
right there.
Not bad.
Boom.
Good job, man, bud. Proud of you,
Pretty
buddy.
cool.
Yeah, I heard he did a lot of that on his own, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
To organize an event that
There was
size.
a Reebok commercial a few years ago, kind of based off of Kelly Starrett's parking lot of dreams, his gym that
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
really a gym, where he just had the I guess you'd call it like a storage unit, right?
He had storage units that were full of equipment,
That
and
were
then he
full of
had like
equipment.
3 canopies, like literally
Yeah.
that you'd see at like a circus.
And
or
every
something.
day they would just
And that's
take
where they worked out.
They would just take the equipment out of the storage unit. But Reebok had a commercial during the CrossFit Games where they dropped down these giant storage units, storage bins
At different gyms, right?
with the Reebok logo on it, just all around the country, and it said
Wow.
the sport of fitness is happening. It was a pretty cool commercial.
It was really
Wow,
cool.
that's
Some
cool.
of that, like organizing. You know, we just did this event today here at Super Training with bodybuilding.com, a bunch of ladies, and then Mark and a bunch of the super trainers. Something like that's like obviously pretty big, but imagine doing that 10 different gyms across the nation with all these different people. Like,
Yeah.
it's like a lot of time and effort and money to put that shit together. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool that fitness is getting that. You know, Mark and I go to all these seminars, and we always talk about like first powerlifting grow or strength sports to go, or even running's pretty popular, but whatever the hell else you do, weightlifting, you've done it all, bodybuilding, all of it.
I've done a lot.
Yeah, for it to grow though, like there needs to be like a press, like even mini press like that.
Yeah.
Like when else has Fox Sports News ever talked about squatting?
Right.
Probably, you know, like one other time. Like that's just cool. Like to get press like
Yeah.
that, money like that.
A lot of times the news, they don't know how to talk about it. All
they
they
don't
know
know
how
what the
to
hell
do
it
is
is.
joke about it. You know, like
Yeah.
if they came here, they'd be like, "Can you guys lift a car for us?" It's
Yeah.
like, no, you assholes, that's not what we do.
Yeah.
We don't do it that way. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
You know.
Or the only thing that they post about is people getting hurt in the gym, right? Like
Yeah.
if we
Right.
squatted and fell, and then it ends up on
Yeah,
Fox
look
Sports.
how
Like,
funny this is.
Yeah. Luckily, Ray Williams, who just squatted 1,000 pounds, first time ever, he ended up everywhere. ESPN, I think Fox,
saw that,
all
yeah.
those sport places, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I think Tosh.0 and all those shows always get people that fuck themselves up. They never like bring on people that are cool.
And vomiting, lots of
Yeah, that was
lifting
good.
and vomiting. Yeah,
The guy that like vomited every rep of a deadlift. He like
serious?
deadlifts. Yeah, he deadlifts and he throws up, and then he's just like fuck it. Like another rep, throws up. Another rep, throws up. Another rep, throws up. Like for
Oh my
like
gosh.
10 reps.
and then the dude who deadlifted and then
Gross.
walked over to the dumbbells and
Eat shit.
ate shit. Yeah,
And I'm not saying they're not funny, but I'm just saying
Oh,
for
yeah.
us to.
Yeah, but that's what
Yeah.
people are
Right,
gonna
highlight
watch.
on the news.
Yeah.
You said you have a couple girls that work for you.
Yes.
They work for you in your gym business, or do you have? I know you got the coffee thing.
Yeah, you got clothing.
You got something else going on. What else you got? Going
Yeah.
on?
So
What the hell's going on?
well, there's a lot.
Explain the whole story, damn it.
Yeah, I might take more than this PowerCast. So I have a clothing line called Valkyrie Surf, and Reebok actually just picked that up to endorse it. So I now have like Valkyrie. It's Valkyrie Athletics, is endorsed by Reebok, and so I have one special tank top on Reebok, which is pretty amazing.
Good for you. That's awesome.
And then so I have like the little surf line. So I have surfboards, and it's
Do you
kind
surf?
of I do. I am not good though. So I don't like to say that I'm a surfer because I feel like that's doing every other surfer so much injustice because I am not a surfer, but I love the water. So it's just a small clothing store, and it lives online. My goal for that is to eventually have like a storefront in Virginia Beach. But also every purchase from Valkyrie Surf, $2 of that goes back into the foundation as well to help battered women.
Cool.
So I kind of like interconnect everything. And then I have about 3 girls who work for me, and they all do different things. I have like a whole group of coaches. So I actually have a lot of people who work for me, but I have
Right.
people who closely work with me, the general managers, and then my manager. And then I
People
have,
working with you on different ideas and concepts, and
yeah,
maybe even as far as like booking you around the country. and
right,
things like
yeah.
that as
So
well?
I have
Okay.
one girl that specifically does that. That's Aaron, and she's my manager, but she travels with me
Right.
everywhere pretty much, and she does all the booking, like the communication with most of my
Gotcha.
sponsors. But then and then I have a girl that
Is that
runs
your
the
nanny?
foundation. Huh? Aaron? No, She's- no. I have another girl that is my nanny for all my boys. So I've created this like close knit group. I don't have a lot of friends, and Mike knows this very well. I'm kind of like a lone horse.
Wolf.
Yeah, horse?
She's such a lone horse. She doesn't even read. It doesn't know sayings.
That was great.
A lone wolf.
That's the name of this podcast. Lone Horse. Ashley Horner.
Ashley Horner, lone horse.
Yeah, the lone horse.
Where are you from? Oklahoma?
Exactly.
Yeah, the Oklahoma. Yay!
Yeah. So,
amazing.
so I'm the lone horse, and but I've created this like the friendships that I have. They're they like have my back, and it's just a really great true friendship.
Yeah.
So it's not. I don't have a whole lot of friends, but the ones that I have, they're like really close to me. So
It's hard as you grow and expand to,
I think
to
so,
have
yeah.
to have people that have your best interest in mind, and people that aren't trying to be part of. It's hard, and it's sometimes hard to make a new relationship because you're heading in that direction.
Right.
You have other people
Because you're Insta famous.
Yeah. People who are trying to like, hey, can you retweet this or can you
Right.
post this or that? Like, they're kind of always asking you for something, so it can be difficult.
Yep.
You have 3 kids?
I have 3 little boys.
Oh my God, 3 boys?
And a house full of animals.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
What kind of animals do you have?
Well, the most recent one that my 6-year-old son caught was a green grass snake.
Oh.
So,
I hate snakes.
Cool.
yeah. So, let's see. We have a German Shepherd. His name's Notch, and we have a yellow umbrella cockatoo. Which I hate birds.
Yeah.
Like, I am not a bird person, but her name's Charlie. She's pretty cool. Do you know how all the cards recently, they all come with chips, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so I just
Wait,
had
what?
the cards, like credit cards,
credit card.
debit cards, credit cards.
Yeah,
The debit cards come with chips. So I just had my card setting out on the the dining room table, and she ate the entire metal chip out of it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She like
Just
pinpointed it. and-
Yeah, it was like a hole punch.
Ate your money.
Like within
wow.
like less than 3 minutes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, she's dangerous.
That's pretty bad.
But we have some turtles, and we have a bearded dragon, and now we have a grass snake. So my 6-year-old is so into animals,
Yeah.
and so I just really try to be that mom that's very accepting of all those little creatures into our house. But
You're like,
Yeah.
some of these animals need to stay outside.
I agree. But unfortunately, we have a beach house with no land, really. So we need to move to a place with land.
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
What are the ages?
My youngest will be 2 in January, and I have a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old.
Shit.
Yeah.
How do you
busy.
balance everything? How do you balance out your fitness and your travel and the kids and everything else?
Yeah. It's difficult. There's definitely no set balance. So I just kind of take every day or week as it comes, depending on what's going on in my life, business and personal. I feel like as far as like running the businesses, it's hard because, and I know that you guys can probably all agree that, you pull back from one thing and you start focusing on another side of the business or something. And, you can focus all your time and energy or, what you have on this. And then you feel like, things on the other side of the business start to slip. And so it's really a delicate balance. And again, that's where I go back to I have key people in my life who are so great at being there and, communicating with me and being like general managers and
Right.
helping me run the business.
I guess you have to let them do their thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
And I
can't
have to,
micromanage them. You'll
No.
drive yourself crazy, right?
I have to trust in them to make the best decisions. And whenever they can't or they don't know, then it's a phone call to me or I meet with everybody at least once a week, whether it's on the phone
That
or
helps. Yeah,
in personal.
communication helps a lot.
Yeah. So I try to be present there. But as far as the family thing, it's definitely difficult. And so as far as fitness wise, I just try to include my boys when I can. And they're very aware of my lifestyle and the physical fitness. And so whenever they can get to the gym with me, and it's nice that I own my own training facilities, so I don't have to worry about, you break it, you buy it, because that does help that they can just kind of come with me and I can pile them all in a car and they can just run loose whenever the gym's not busy and I can get my training in.
You sometimes just train from home since you
I
do
do.
boot camp type
Yeah,
stuff, and you talked
absolutely.
about body weight exercises. You maybe just go for a run.
Yeah, I'm not really a body weight exercise type
Okay.
girl. I really like to lift heavy shit.
Gotcha.
But if I need to, it's there. Yeah. And I
Right.
do have equipment at the house. So
Oh,
can
okay,
do
you
it
got
when I need
equipment
to.
everywhere.
Yeah, I have it everywhere because you never know.
Just got to hit some
Especially,
deadlifts.
especially when you're
The kids into it at all?
They
start
are.
climbing on some shit, lifting some stuff.
Yeah. So my oldest, that he is 8, we just put him in his first little CrossFit competition.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Did he
did
like it?
Yeah, he's doing clean and jerks.
That's cool.
And so he's so competitive and he's a really good soccer player. So all my kids seem to be extremely athletic, taking
Right.
after their mom, And then we also do a lot of rock climbing, like bouldering. And so we take the 2 older ones. We've tried the littlest one to take him bouldering. It's he just eats the pebbles on the floor.
That'd be me.
Yeah.
Shoving up your nose.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. So, but yeah, it's very much introduced into their life. So
That's cool. What about food wise? What's the Horner household like food wise?
salads and paleo only.
Paleo. Kale salads.
No, that's not.
Kale salads.
gives me
hard to
grass
Mike
grass
gives me
shakes.
such a hard time about. Yeah.
She's a bodybuilder.
It's hard
at
to
heart.
balance that sometimes when you have kids around. They want mac and cheese and
Yeah.
different things, and might make your diet a little bit harder. You know, what do you have going on?
Yeah, so they
lettuce and ice.
Yeah, that's only Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Lettuce and ice. Every other day, it's pizza and hamburgers. We balance everything pretty well. So, like, you know, they definitely understand like what's healthy and what's not. And I never try to like restrict them from eating the things that they want to have, like macaroni and cheese. I mean, it's not.
You try to educate them a little bit about
do.
like what's going on with their food.
Yeah. So, like with every like bad. Like not bad, but like more unhealthier item. I mean, I take them to McDonald's too. You know, I feel like people are like, "Oh my gosh, she feeds her kids McDonald's." I mean, like they're little kids, they're
8,
boys.
9. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah, McDonald's is a wonderful place. Fucking great.
McFlurry? Are you fucking kidding me? Oreo McFlurry.
So I don't try to keep that away from them because I want them to know that it's okay to have whatever you want. Just know the importance of like, you know, especially training and like being active, and they want to like run really fast and beat all their friends at the playground.
Right.
You know, so I just introduce to them gradually about how to eat healthy. And so.
And keep it simple.
Yeah, keep it simple. Don't overdo it. Just keep it simple.
What do you have coming up next? You know, you came out here to do this thing, and it kind of sounds like you kind of go on tour and do some of these things. So what do you have coming up next?
So I was yesterday. I was just at the bodybuilding.com headquarters because I have my very own supplement line coming out called Foundry.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm really excited. So I was just able to
That
announce
explain the shirt you were wearing.
Yes,
That's what it said on it, right?
Foundry. Yep. So I have my very own supplement line coming out. It's just a pre and a post workout, and that is going to be launching December 15th is like the date. But we have been working on it for probably a year now.
Yeah.
So to finally actually have something like ready to go. So I was out there shooting the supplement line for bodybuilding.com. We did like this video up until 3 a.m. And it was gnarly. And
You got to get it done, right?
had to get it done, you know. So, and then I go home. I'll get home on Tuesday, and I'm shooting a cover for Strong Magazine.
Hey, you said it's your first cover.
Yeah,
Congratulations. That's great.
I'm really excited. So, Strong Magazine's flying in from Canada to Virginia Beach to be at my gym for a couple days. So I'll be shooting my cover.
It's a Canadian publication? Okay. It doesn't count.
Easy.
Sorry.
Dang.
That's cool.
So, but yeah, I'm really excited about the opportunity. So it's not a cover yet. I mean, hopefully I can.
Yeah,
give
if the
them
pictures suck, they're like, nope.
I know.
They take
well,
it back.
I mean, yeah. You
Like,
never
actually,
know.
we're gonna head to Sacramento for Silent Mike and Smelly.
I might be eating too much ice cream after tonight, and you know.
Whatever. Ice cream's pretty good.
Yeah.
So you got your own gym,
Yep.
got your own clothes,
Yes.
your own supplement line, a coffee shop.
Yes, sir.
Anything else? You gonna make a fucking candy bar or something?
Yeah. Well, actually, yeah. So one other thing that I have is a kids training site. It's called Sled Pups. Sled Pups.
Gotcha.
Some people confuse that with Slut Pups.
Oh.
But it's
Hey, now. You said it. We didn't go there. You did. All right. There we go.
So it's Sled Pups, and it's you know because we have American sled dogs. So
We get it, all right? Sled pups, sled with a D.
Sled dogs,
We get it.
sled pups.
We get
but
it.
it's a kids training site, and we develop kids training programs for kids like my son's age.
Yeah.
And we also have a team of athletes that we take to compete.
Cool.
So that's something I've had that for about 6 months now, and it's like really taken off. So it's very exciting.
That's great. I'd like to see more stuff develop like that for kids.
Yeah, our friend Kelly Strait out here does a lot
Yeah.
of stuff like that in
Yeah.
terms of like proper movement patterns and
Yeah.
like Kelly Strait's the guy with all the numbers. But he says something,
Right.
like 60%. All these kids are going to rip their ACLs because they don't know how to
Yeah.
move right, or they don't
Yeah.
have the right muscles, or they don't know how to even run. Like some dads don't know how to throw, so they don't teach their
Yeah.
kid how to
Also,
throw.
too,
and then the kid gets
like
jacked up.
the exercise that we all engage in, especially when it comes to lifting and, doing something inside of a gym, it's artificial exercise that was made up because we no longer do the shit we used to.
Yeah,
Right.
hunt
And kids need a lot of that nowadays too, because kids are just watching YouTube and
Gaming.
they're on their phones and so while it would be great if your kids still played with like the neighbor and still hung out and threw a football around with them, they just don't really do that anymore.
Right.
So rather than trying to live in the past, it'd be great to think of something new for the
what's
kids
next?
to do, CrossFit or something like what you're saying. Sounds great.
Well, I think we're going to see a lot of that with our generation because this is, we're considered the fit gen.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see that trickle down to our generation because
Yeah.
they're basically going to follow in our footsteps. And hopefully, fingers crossed, we will continue to teach our young and be a good example
Right.
to, our little kiddos.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, with all the children's diabetes and,
Yeah.
the
It's
health
bad.
risks that they're
And
at.
the
so-
ADHD issues.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think a lot of that that can be solved.
Well, the studies show
Yeah.
that it does at least decrease the symptomology if they get exercise.
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't it, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
extra energy's got to go somewhere.
And blood, even just like blood flow. Like humans aren't made around to like sit around. Like that's
Yeah.
why even we're standing here. You know?
Accomplishment.
Yeah.
You do something.
Every
and
little
you-
thing. Competition. Like you talk about your kids being competitive. I think that's fucking huge. You know, I think who else talked about it out there?
and
Meg
something-
Squats maybe.
Yeah.
Was talking about like, yeah, I'm fucking competitive. Like that's why I could make this my job and quit my other job
Right.
because I'm fucking competitive.
Yeah, you have to be.
Every gal that we've talked to in the past
Yeah, that's
few
true.
years has been competitive.
Yeah.
It's like
competitive chicks, man.
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
It's a little,
I quit.
a little
Yeah.
scary around here. You girls are serious.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's easy. The easiest thing to do is just give up and stop.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? I mean, if I, like, the first opportunity for me to give up would have been a long time ago. And if I would have taken that opportunity and stopped and given up,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be where I am today.
That's what my dad always says. It's easy to just say, "Oh, it's getting to be too hard. I'll see you later." You know,
Yeah.
it really is. And the interesting part of that is that it doesn't take any extra talent or skill or genetics
Yeah.
to do some of the fundamentals
Right.
of showing up on time, working
Right.
hard,
Yeah.
staying late. You know, working until 3:30 in the morning. You know, some of those things they're not genetic traits. You don't need to
Yeah.
be special for it.
Right. And that's something else that I feel like the generation now, we just don't know what hard work is anymore. And I feel like everything, we just
I feel like
expect
my mom's
everything
yelling at me right now.
to be.
Hey, mom. Fuck.
Oh, yeah, I know. You need to work harder, Mike.
I get it.
But we don't
Clean
even
up
know
your room. Fuck, mom. The meatloaf.
the meatloaf. But we don't even know what hard work is anymore. Like we just expect things to be given to us or opportunities to be given to us. And I hope that is something that, I can instill in my boys' head, that like it's hard work, and I want to teach them to be men, and I want to teach them to have passion and to be competitive with themselves and to work their ass off and to
Right.
know that nothing's
We
going to be
don't
given
curse
to
on
them.
this podcast.
That,
God.
He's lying.
that was rude.
I guess I missed that memo.
No,
Dang.
he's lying.
we like to use the word butt or hiney.
Heinies. Work your heinies off,
Tush,
boys.
tush.
Yes.
Hey, what if your boys were listening to this?
Well, they know
We
that
can
when
bleep that out,
they
right?
have they have actually they watched my Charlie Mike video, and when I was
You're cursing at people, telling them
and
to
I just told him I
work
was like,
fucking harder and stuff.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sorry, like you guys shouldn't say that, but like when mommy gets really fired up, sometimes she just gets so crazy that stuff comes out. I'm sorry.
That's roid rage. That's probably what that is.
No, sorry. Thank you for diagnosing me.
It's just
Yeah,
it's
we
the
can get into a
steroid
steroid
stuff.
use later.
It's
Dang.
steroid
I need
talking.
to. Yeah, man, I should get off that.
Mommy was talking to adults. That's always.
Yeah.
I wasn't talking to kids. I was talking to adults.
But most recently, I'm going to start working with an orphanage in Haiti. So
Yeah,
right-
Haiti got blasted.
Yeah.
Again.
I saw some pictures, like crushed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
between the
So
earthquake and the I don't know if they're ever going to dig out there.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
That's
I
like
couldn't
a-
even watch it.
Yeah, no doubt is it's sad, but it's like places like New Orleans and stuff, and they say like, well, next storm, like your city's going to be 100 feet underwater. Like, maybe it's time we fucking relocate.
Yeah.
Like I know it's
well,
hard to do for an entire country.
Right. you
Yeah.
can't-
By no means do I have the answers, but what I'm
I
saying
know.
is, like they're not in a good spot weather-wise or ocean-wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. So I will be going down to Hades and having hopefully a big impact. Not only being able to give monthly, like financially, to the orphanage, but to really be involved in their girls' wellness program, which is a huge issue out there, and hopefully teaching them some sort of like physical education, stuff that they, completely miss out on. But the goal with the orphanage is to teach them and to actually put them back into the community of Haiti, to help them like make the community of Haiti better instead of
Yeah.
just adopting them all out. So I'm excited about that. Again, strengthening kids. Sled pups. That's where
right.
it's at. I'm gonna take sled pups
It's
to Haiti.
cool that you're investing your time into these projects, rather than just because like Mike kind of pointed out, like the money can help,
Right.
But the time is, and then especially when you're talking about children,
Right.
The personal interaction will help that kid more. That's why, like, same thing when we did the foster home with like Reebok and stuff. Like me,
having
literally
a mentor is amazing.
Yeah, literally putting my hands in the dirt felt a lot better than me signing him a $1,000 check.
Yeah, but you actually doing it and having
Yeah,
a
it's
part
cool.
in that. Mm-hmm.
What's next for your actual hybrid athleticism?
Well, I'm supposed to run a 50-mile mountain race like the first weekend in November. Man Bun was going to come with me.
And run it?
No, I was trying to get him to run it, but I
Man Bun's
honestly...
like a triathlete, I think.
I know.
That's his background. He
yeah,
can do it.
Yeah. But I have not fully recovered from the 300-mile row.
What hurts,
so I need
what
to like
hurts worse?
just my joints, my knees, and it's a big mountain climb.
Yeah.
So, but it's a run, like
It's
50-mile
that
run.
old age.
Yeah, I
You could feel the
know.
rain coming.
Oh my gosh, I know. I need to anyway, so I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet. I have definitely signed up for that and I've committed to it. So it's hard for me once I've committed to something to kind of backstep out. But I feel like this is one of those times where I need to backstep out.
3
Not good.
kids, you got 3 boys. You must have an epic poop story. There must be something where, you were somewhere, you were doing something important, and one of your kids just let loose, or your own poop story for that matter.
Yeah, well, I mean, I have definitely one for me. I ran all the way from
300-mile run.
Yeah,
And
I left my trail all the way down from Virginia Beach to North Carolina. Wilmington, North Carolina.
Just pooping in the woods?
Yeah.
Marathon people just pee themselves, yeah? That's like a norm? Marathon, but what?
Right.
Yeah, what do you do number 2?
I don't know for marathons. I mean, because you're on a road. For me, it was actually because I spent so many days. I would check into a hotel at night and just sleep. But I went from sunrise to sunset running, and of course, and all the stuff that I was eating, trying to keep my energy levels up. It was weird for me to come back to civilization and actually use a restroom. I actually felt more clean and better just being like a bear and pooping in the woods and going bathroom in the woods than using a bathroom. Because there's more germs in a bathroom than there are in the woods. And that's what
not if everybody starts pooping in the woods. There's going to be more germs
well,
there.
that's not, I was just trying to follow my Indian ancestry.
It's a sharp contrast to the toilet at Mark's house that is like a car wash for your
heated
butt.
seats, air dry.
We have a special lid that just does everything. It's like a bidet and sprays you, and it oscillates and pulsates.
I couldn't handle that.
And has 15 different settings for strength.
I would probably just be in your backyard, in your tree.
I think
Where'd Hoarder go?
I think you'd end up embracing it. You'd be in the bathroom for long periods of time. I think
I don't know.
it's pretty exciting.
I'm a country girl.
There you go. Might be fertilizing my yard.
Yeah, I'm just doing
Maybe
you a favor.
some flowers or something would grow from it or something.
Yeah.
Actually, if you drive along the road from Virginia Beach
You
to
can
North
see
Carolina,
stacks.
there's a nice green trail of where everything's fertilized.
Nice.
Everybody just pooping.
No, it's just me.
You poop the whole highway.
Yeah.
Fertilize it away.
Yeah, sure did.
Wow, you really are a giver.
You're welcome.
Just environment. Just saving
Absolutely.
us all.
Yeah, you're welcome.
What happens to your body when you run that far? Your feet and stuff got to just kill.
We were hanging out the
Yeah.
week after that.
Yeah, that was
We
crazy.
were in Boston the week after that.
Go through a couple pairs of shoes or what?
I did. So my feet actually swelled 2.5 shoe sizes. Yes,
Damn.
that was gnarly.
Did that happen when you were pregnant too, or no?
No. I've
Sometimes
never.
that happens when girls are pregnant.
I've
Sometimes their
never.
feet swell up.
Yeah, I never experienced anything like that in my life, and I was so exhausted.
That looks funny, huh?
I was so exhausted after my run because I went right up to the Reebok headquarters after my 280-mile run, and I would just randomly fall asleep in random places, and I fell asleep right by my gate and completely missed my flight. I was right next to my gate. Nobody woke me up or anything.
Horner, Ashley
Yeah.
Horner, they kept
Yeah.
saying it in your fucking
I had no
household.
idea, and I woke up
Snoring.
and they were like, "Oh my gosh!" And I had a really bad limp, and they were like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just," and I was
don't
like,
know
"I
where I
just
am."
ran so far," and then they're like, "Oh my gosh, can we get a wheelchair?" And I was like, "No, I don't need a wheelchair."
They think you're losing your mind.
Yeah.
I ran 300 miles.
Yeah.
They're
On the
"Oh,
walk-
what?
I probably look like
crazy
Forrest Gump.
lady at
I've been
gate
pooping in the
E12.
woods. You don't understand what it's like. They're like, what's going on with this lady?
Fertilized North
I've been
Carolina.
peeing my pants and running.
My feet's just so big.
Yeah.
Yeah,
amazing.
fat little feet.
Yeah, I did. Fat little toes. In fact, if you look at my feet,
No, ew.
there's I swear my toe is shrunk. It's my big toe, and then I have 2 toes next to it.
So do
They're
we.
the same
Wait,
size.
you have 2 toes. Oh, it
No,
got
my
jammed?
2 toes. Yeah, it's and I broke probably 4 toenails, and they all grew back really weird.
Funky.
Yeah, they
It's
don't grow back
I
the same.
I have disgusting feet. No, it was nasty. They're still gross.
They got fucked up, huh?
Yeah, got
From all
fucked up
that running.
bad.
How long did it take you to recover from the run?
The run was about 2 weeks. It actually took me longer to recover from the road than the run. And I'm surprised by that.
Yeah, because you're just sitting on your ass. Right?
Well,
row. No.
Yeah.
the row was harder, has been
Oh,
harder
really?
for me to recover.
No, I know, but with the row,
Yeah,
and
you're
it-
saying
it's easier. You're sitting
you
down.
think.
And it's a more full body. I mean,
right.
so running's full body as
You
well.
think row
If I
would be,
benched for 3 days,
Yeah.
I would think it would be a lot
Your tits
easier
would
than
be so
squatting.
big.
But
row is smoother too because it's a machine.
Yeah.
That pole's kind of smooth where you're running, it's like jolt.
No, that's why it's weird. It's because like I recovered faster from my run than I did from the row.
I wonder if because it's smoother, you go harder.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
Or it could be because I did that.
Yeah.
I did it so close back to back.
Yeah, that probably wasn't very bright.
I know.
You do all these athletics, but not a lot
people-
upstairs.
I know.
There's been I've heard some people say that the rower is not engineered all that well. So that could be part of it too.
Like ergonomically, like your back's
It's
all
terrible-
rounded. and-
supposedly terrible for your lower
Yeah.
back.
Have you ever really rode before?
No, I had never rode before.
Yeah.
So my form, I kept great form, like for the, throughout my
Right.
the extent of the 300-mile row. I just think it was just like of my joints. I never actually, my lower back was fine. I was just in my knees and my elbows and stuff from the constant like extension and flexion. So, but I'll be fine. I just need to get
extremely
strong
interesting
again.
because there's no eccentric port; it's all concentric.
Yeah.
On the flywheel.
Right.
Sometimes I think you pull with your hammies to pull yourself back in.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I was definitely
that probably
doing that.
hurts.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know shit about rowing, but
Yeah. I know you don't.
Yeah.
You don't do cardio.
nope, I just lift weights.
I'm still trying to race Mike.
I'll race you in like 40 yards. You'll be done for
You don't understand how fast I am.
No, you don't understand
I
how
am
fast I am.
so fast.
We could do a vertical jump test.
No, I
broad
was
jump
I was not a basketball player. I will
like
race
40
you.
I'll fucking score
For the
a
race,
goal on you
barefoot.
too.
Barefoot.
Not barefoot.
Yes.
Where's 2016?
I'm
not going to shit in the
I
woods
am
either.
a Native American.
You can't go barefoot. You're sponsored by Reebok.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I'll wear socks.
no, I don't wear socks.
Oh, that's gross. That's
Ever.
why you have gross feet.
I really don't wear
That's
socks.
the answer.
You know why? Because it's so difficult to find matching socks, or like so.
Maybe kidding. Look, I got a red one and a black.
Yeah, maybe
I
with
know.
kids around. I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I
I
can't
can't even
find nothing.
I'll find like a long sock and a short sock, and then finally one day I was like, I'm done.
Fuck socks.
Yeah. So we broke up. This is probably like 2 years ago. I just don't wear socks.
And now your feet are just disgusting.
Yeah, I guess so. That's why I go through a lot of shoes. So they stink.
Then you burn them.
That'd do it.
Yeah, they
No,
probably
I
stay
autograph
so
them and give them away.
No one wants that.
They
It
do.
smells like death.
Yeah, it does. It's disgusting. But I autographed and gave away my last pair of Olympic lifting shoes, my weightlifting shoes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So and it went to the Unbroken Foundation, but it was like the highest bidder for like $180,
Not bad.
and they were
Powerlifting.
disgusting.
Have you done a powerlifting meet?
I did my first powerlifting meet.
you did.
When was that?
This spring?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's good. I
April-
crushed it.
April, March, June, something like that.
Yeah.
May.
Mike helped me with
How'd you do?
I did really good. I hit all PRs, so I think I got third place.
Having no idea what the hell she's
Yeah.
doing.
What?
You had no idea what
I
you're
had
doing.
no
She was
idea what
asking
I
me
was
about
doing.
wraps and all that. I was like, just go lift some weights. You'll be okay. You're strong. Just go
I know.
bench.
But it was awesome, and it was just the environment, and
It's cool, huh?
the powerlifting community is like just so different from. That was the first type of competition that I've done. I've done triathlons, and I've done like ultra runs,
Obviously bodybuilding.
and the bodybuilding and the fitness modeling and
Yeah.
stuff. But like the camaraderie and stuff of like powerlifting,
yeah,
it's
it's
so different.
different, yeah.
You know, everybody like truly just wants you to like get up there and like crush the weight.
And when you're a hot chick.
Oh,
yeah, me and
no,
Mark
I
did
don't.
a cheer for like that.
Yeah.
It's probably a little bit different with girls,
It's
but
different. Yeah, there's like 17 people trying to help you.
yeah.
I'll put your belt on for
You
you.
got a 45 on each side.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm stacking my own weights.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Mark.
Anybody? Somebody?
Yeah,
help me?
but it was
Anybody?
my first competition for powerlifting. I was doing the bench for the very first time, and the guy came up to me and he was like, "Do you want to lift off?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want to lift off." And I got up there, and of course everybody's like watching me, and then like everything goes quiet.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I have my hands on the bar, and I'm looking at this guy, and he has his hands on the bar, and I'm just looking at him. I give him like a head nod, and he gave me a head nod back. And I was like, "Okay, I'm ready." He goes, "You have to push the bar off." I didn't know. I thought he was going to push it off
You
for
wanted the
me.
full service instead of you
Yeah.
going 50-50.
Yeah, I didn't know, and they didn't. You know, it was fine. I just laughed about it.
kind of
so.
a country club, like
Yeah, Mark calls it the country club.
Yeah.
When we do it with dumbbells, we just load it for him. He just
Yeah.
lays back, and I'll just give him the dumbbells.
It's called double country. When someone just hands it to you, somebody hands you the dumbbells and you're in the incline
country
position,
club.
they just physically hand them to you like that. That's
the
double,
caddy.
double country. And then country club is just on the legs.
You
Yeah.
normally train by yourself?
I do. Yeah, I'm
Is
a
that-
lone horse.
Is that, is that the bodybuilder within you, or what? You were a WBFF pro?
Yeah, I'm still technically a WBFF pro,
Oh, I'm sorry.
but
BFF Pro.
WBFF. Yeah, BFF pro.
BFF pro.
I really train by myself.
She said earlier she has no friends. She's trying to tell us how lonely she is.
Yeah, sticky feet. There's a lot of these things are adding up.
Yeah.
The lone horse. Pooping all over the place. Peeing herself.
Yeah, stinky
having
feet.
grizzled feet.
Yeah. Yeah, there's obviously a reason why I have no friends. Thank you for now I've
Now
figured
100,000
it out.
people know.
So I do a lot of my training by myself, not really because my schedule's like kind of so crazy, and my training's really it's just an outlet for me to kind of escape my extremely busy life and reality for a little bit. And so I just like to kind of zone out and do my own thing. However, that being said, it's very difficult sometimes to train in the facility that you own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
or work at or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's definitely a challenge, and it's not necessarily like the members or the coaches or the manager bugging me because they like respect my time for the most part. It's just me being there and being
it's
like,
you.
oh my gosh, like
Yeah.
I gotta like do
Yeah.
this or like I need to go talk to this person.
It's also very
So-
easy to talk yourself out of doing stuff.
It is.
And I got to
be
do
like-
this first. Like,
Right.
you don't really have to do that first. You
Exactly.
could do your workout and then you could do whatever later. Yeah, it is difficult to do that. With your training sessions, are they very intensive to the point where you need like kind of some preparation for your workout, or you kind of just go in and just start training?
Yeah, I always have like a mental prep before. I think that's extremely key.
Yeah, because if you're trying to do some high level stuff
Yeah.
and run,
Right.
nearly 300 miles, you can't really just
you don't train for that.
go in and,
mental.
and just work out. Yeah.
Yeah. So, my philosophy with training is that the mental training, in my opinion, is more important than the physical training. You can't have one without the other. And I think that they both go like, side by side. So I really spend at least the first 5 or 10 minutes just kind of like in quiet by myself.
Not doing anything or doing some light activity or
Either looking at my program, kind of visioning it in my mind. I don't know if that like sounds kind of weird, but just like
Gotcha.
seeing it and going through like what I want to do, kind of like going through the motions in my head. And then, I execute it. So, but yeah, a lot of it is a lot of mental training for me. Cause like the 300-mile run, I actually hate running.
Right.
Or I said 300-mile run. 280 mile
No one
run.
cares. We get it.
But
Who
that is
sets that up? Why not make it 300 miles?
Yeah.
because it
Let me
was
talk to Aaron.
because it was
280? Bullshit.
Yeah, because the
Might as well
math,
not do
was-
it.
Just run backwards.
Yeah,
10
might as well
miles and
not
run
do
back
it.
again.
Yeah,
Finish it up.
believe me, at the end of it, I was so
If you didn't
incredibly beat
hate
up.
running before you started, you probably really hated it by the time you were done.
I remember at the last day of my run, I had three girls with me that work with me, and they were just like, Ashley, you gotta stop. Because I wasn't even running at that point. I was literally like picking up my leg and moving it. They're like, oh my God, like she's gotta stop. So, I just, and it was crazy because we hit our goal for $15,000. And this was on the last day, and it was early morning of the last day. And they're like, Ashley, you can stop. And I was like, yeah, I can stop. And I was like, but I haven't completed my 280 miles. So I was like, I have to complete, like, just in my mind, like I had it in my head, like I was going to complete 280 miles.
Right.
So that's what I did. And so anyways, it's just like, I kind of have like a weird mind, I guess.
Gotcha.
You're nuts.
Yeah, basically.
That's fair.
I'll own it.
Yeah. Do it, lone horse. Crazy horse.
Yeah.
Where does your day start? In the coffee shop?
No, my day starts
At home, obviously.
Yes.
After that?
I try to wake up before everybody else in my house wakes up because I have to kind of like get
So you're
myself ready,
up at
right?
6,
have at least 5
something like
cups
that.
of coffee, like
6 a.m., something like that?
5:30.
There
Yeah.
you go.
And then I go straight to the gym. I get any work done at the gym that I need to do. I get my training in at the gym. And then the last half of my day is spent at the coffee shop. So until I have to pick up my boys from school, which is
Cool.
like 4:00.
Very cool.
Yep.
You guys have any other questions for her?
Yeah, what else you got going on? You don't know what's next running? You're done running.
Well, I have that 50-mile mountain run.
Just don't do that. That's stupid. You should probably lift weights.
I know. I just really want to get my strength back. I honestly want to do another powerlifting competition because I don't feel like I gave Mike enough chance to like really.
Yeah, I think Man Bun hit me up and he's like, hey, like, Ashley Horner's going to do like a powerlifting meet. You want to help her? I was like, yeah, whatever. And then she like hit me up. Was like, oh yeah, it's in like 4 weeks. I was like, oh, fucking great.
Yeah,
Here we go.
it was crazy. It was super fast. And so I just feel like I have so much more potential than like what I kind of gave myself time for. And before that, I think I jumped into it like 2 weeks before, I contacted you and I didn't know like what the heck I was doing.
Too much running.
I really, I'm definitely I love conditioning, like my body type. But I love to be strong as well, like as strong as I can be. So it's hard for me to find that balance because I want to be both. And it's kind of like, and kind of what you were talking about earlier, whenever you were talking to everybody, that you can't just all of a sudden have both. You've got to like kind of do this like shuffle where you work on both and you work on your strength and then you can get fast and then you work on and you just build it up. So
you can work on both at the same time. It would just be, you just have to think about it. It has to be planned out.
Right.
And you could do, a little bit of sprint training after some squats or something. I mean, you could do it.
Right.
It's just has to be planned.
And your stuff's a little extreme. It's a little different than being like a football player that's like strong and fast. Like
right. Because
running
I would say the long distance stuff would be out of the question.
Running 300 miles and then
it's different than running like a half marathon and then still trying to keep my strength. Like I'm doing crazy miles, of like 50
You'd have
miles
to do
plus.
lower stuff and probably switch to some sort of sprinting instead of
And I'm a sprinter.
Yeah.
This is why I'm going to kick your ass.
We'll see, dude. Next time we're at Reebok, they have a track,
we will
don't
go
they?
sprint right now in the parking lot.
Yeah, I'm cold. It's been a long day.
Oh my gosh, go eat some Swedish fish and let's go.
I'll smoke.
I was still in some of those days. I've never had a Swedish fish in my life.
Really?
Is that like the?
It's like a gummy bear.
Yeah, but they're
we eat all
they're
that
like
stuff.
chewier than a gummy bear.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah. It's different than a gummy bear.
It's different than a gummy bear.
Similar. I was just saying.
Different.
You're acting like
harder.
it's so foreign. It's not from Sweden. I mean, they're all been here for a while.
So I don't really care for gummy bears.
Gummy bears are good.
Yeah.
Just sugar. Mid-workout. We work out for like 2 hours.
And I do too.
Worked out for 6 days.
I work out for 2 hours.
Pooped on the side of the road to reach my goals. What have you done?
Yeah, got to do what you got to do.
So, in terms of like the philanthropy that you're doing, like, do you see that as like a lifelong thing? Do you have a goal with it at some point in the future to, have a facility or build a facility in another country or, you know?
Yeah, I honestly feel like I'm just beginning.
Yeah.
So not too long ago, I was working with this coffee company that was going to help make me my own beans. And, he ended up like looking me up, and it was a guy like extremely cocky, and he ended up doing some research on me, and he was just like, he's like, what are you going to do in like a year or two whenever you're like not pretty anymore and you can't be like a fitness model? And I got so offended. One, I did not do business with him.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, and I like let him have it.
You're getting old, sister.
Up.
I mean, I think the guy has a point.
Yeah, I was like, I'm sorry. I was like, are you just judging me over like maybe one or two pictures that you saw of me like online? I was like, you have no right to do that. I was like, this career right here for me is just beginning. And in fact, like I believe like what I'm doing right now is just stepping stones to something bigger and better that I'm going to be doing. So, like the sky's the limit. We have the training facility that I own that is franchised. So I haven't really done anything with that in the past year and a half, but that's something that'll probably start kind of kicking off in the next year. I would love to franchise the coffee shop. Sky's the limit for me. So, and the coolest part about like everything that I've done in every business venture that I own and operate is that I've been able to invest my own money from basically my fitness career and just hustling my ass off into like my own gym. And so like I have pride whenever I walk in there, and there's no partners in anything that I do. And I have pride when I walk in there.
Yeah.
We may not have like the most equipment or like, brand new equipment, but nothing in that gym. Like I have
It's all
earned that.
stuff
And
you worked for.
Yes. And then now like my coaches have pride, and like my Aaron, who's my manager, we have built this facility up from like nothing.
Yeah.
And same thing with the coffee shop, I can walk
I'm
in
sure
there.
that rude comment from that one guy, you probably get it more often than just that. But a lot of times when women own something, men can't seem to handle it, just the same way that when women exercise, guys are saying, oh, you look like a dude.
Right.
But a lot of times when women own something, a lot of times people are like, oh, husband probably
Yeah.
You know, husband probably took care of that, and that's probably why she's got a nice place.
Yeah, rich parents.
Right.
They just
Yeah.
think you stroll through there and say, "Hey, could you clean that up? Hey, could you do this? Could you do that?" And they just think that's your day.
Yeah, no. For I was a single mom for like 3 years. I couldn't even pay my rent, and so the first car that I bought was a '94 Defender 90, and there's actually
I don't even know what that is.
it's an old Land Rover Range Rover.
Oh.
So, but there were so many times like I couldn't even pay the car payment, and any day I was just expecting it to be repossessed.
Yeah.
And I still have that car like today. I paid it off like a couple years ago, but you know, I like came from nothing, and I mean, there were times like I would come home like my electricity would be shut off, or I would try to like write a check
Phone's
and
not working anymore.
Yeah. So I've been there, and you know, all that, you know, just going through those experiences just made me like I had to be successful. Like I wanted to be successful, and I had no other choice for my boys. So just pushed me to be the best I can.
You have a motor, and I guess that somebody looking from the outside at just pictures or whatever, they're not going to get that. I guess if they look at your whole business, your whole story, it's obviously there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Where
Yeah.
can people find you? Website? Internet? You have a website, right?
I'm everywhere.
Instagram?
No, I do. I have a website. It's just ashleyhorner.co.
Couldn't afford the M.
Could not afford the M at the time. Asshole. Working on
We
that.
all got struggles, homie. I feel you.
Yeah, so it's ashleyhorner.co. And then my Instagram handle is ashley.horner. And my Facebook is Ashley Horner Fitness. And that's kind of like where I live. I don't really tweet. My YouTube sucks. Trying to learn from.
Yeah. Yeah. Blows.
Easy.
We tried to fix it. You wouldn't listen.
I've tried. Anyway, so yeah, but all that's kind of, you know, I think social media, and there's so many outlets, like you can never really stop growing because,
Yeah.
you know, you can even like freaking Pinterest. Like I don't even know if you guys Pinterest.
Mark's big
but,
on Pinterest.
You know, but that's what I'm saying. There's so many like
We make really good
outlets.
I can't even
salads.
walk down the Pinterest street.
Yeah, he gets
I
fucking
believe
crushed.
it, man.
I get killed.
I bet you love it.
Yeah, we just make salads on there.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
Kale salads.
Yep. That's what
You
we
know
do.
about the kale?
Yeah, I told everybody about the
Yeah.
kale salad.
That was
do.
terrible.
AJ Pappas.
Goddamn AJ. That
There's
was
your
the-
shout out, AJ. You and
That
your
was-
kale salad.
That was the worst.
Oh yeah. So
With some of the things you're trying to do, are you trying to include your sponsors? You're trying to get them involved in
yeah, absolutely.
your mission? Because I mean, I'm sure that would probably help
Yeah.
with awareness and stuff like that.
Yeah, Reebok's been a huge supporter of everything that I've done, from the 280-mile run to the row. And, you know, I'm working with them to hopefully get the orphanage down in Haiti, like a bunch of shoes. There's 250 of them right now living in the orphanage. So that might be something like next year that we can kind of,
Yeah.
you know, venture down.
Step by step.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
So, but yeah.
Could you imagine not having shoes and
I know.
then having shoes?
Well, you know,
Yeah.
I'm kind
It'd
of
be
wondering. I honestly wonder if they would even wear them.
Yeah.
Because they've
Yeah.
gone like their whole life
Yeah.
now, and they just play soccer, and they're obsessed with those
Yeah.
Inu hammocks.
I don't know.
Inu hammocks.
It might be nice though if
So.
they. I mean, I don't know how they live, but if they go somewhere else, it might
Yeah.
be like to more a civilized area
Right.
to have a shoe.
My
Yeah.
really good friend Lisa, who brought me into this gym, and they know she's from South Africa,
Oh,
and
nice.
like no stereotype or whatever. Like she walks around. She's a clerk at like the federal courthouse right now.
She's always barefoot.
She's stomping around barefoot, like at
Yeah.
this prestigious like law fucking firm that runs
Her
the
feet
nation.
are always pitch black.
And they're square. She's got ugly feet too. I've known her since 3rd grade. And she's stomping around the fucking federal courthouse in barefoot. You're so weird. How are you not going to get
She
fired?
has Flintstone feet.
She really does.
Yeah. Well, that's why, you know, like looking at pictures. I know that probably sounds mean, but like looking at these little kids, and like, you know, maybe they have like flip flops on or
But
something.
maybe they like it. It's what they.
but that's
know.
what I'm thinking
Yeah,
is
yeah.
like, you know, they may not even want
Yeah.
like
But it's
hard,
worth a try. But maybe a jacket
sweaty
or
shoes, because they're probably
Yeah.
not going to wear socks like
Yeah,
me. So
yeah, gross.
just get the nasty
They might
feet.
be excited about something like a Snickers bar or something.
Right.
different.
Well,
Something
that's
that'll
what-
really blow their
yes.
minds.
One day we'll get a Snickers sponsorship.
Yeah, so they seem to be like really obsessed with the hammocks, the Inu hammocks. So I reached out to.
I've never heard of
I'm
that.
probably saying
What you got, Jim?
It's
Google
Eno
it.
Eno hammocks. So they love these hammocks. So I actually reached out to that company, and they're going to donate
cool.
a bunch, and then the rest I get to buy for like 50% off.
that's
Yeah, there
cool.
they are.
Yeah.
Eno,
It's tied in a tree or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, or just two posts.
So but that's what you know. They're not like
Eagles
interested.
Nest Outfitters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I
that's
get it.
dope.
Yeah, Eagles Nest. So
That's
they're
cool.
going to donate some
Hammocks
hammocks.
are hard to get out of.
No, they are not made for big people. I think if you're under 200 pounds, you can deal. That's
They are
dope.
really
Yeah.
tough to get out of.
Yeah.
That's
so
kind of cool. You can lay
That's
on
like Bear
whatever
Grylls.
way you want.
Is that a dog, or am I just blind?
That's Pretty neato.
This is
Maybe I'm
different from
blind.
those that can't see. This is different from a banana hammock.
I think I
Similar but different.
have a picture of that exact same place hanging in my living room.
Really? This is pretty cool. Some dock in LA or something?
I think it's near Santa Cruz or something. I don't know.
Santa Cruz.
I didn't take the picture. It was
Yeah.
Sam took it. So
Pretty cool.
But yeah, that's all I got. So
That's
That's
always, I mean,
That's it.
That's
You're
all.
not really doing that much. Like
I'm trying to think. I'm sure there's more.
you'll think of 7 other things.
Yeah.
How do you manage it all? Because is it like each day you go over a different thing, or is it like it's 9 o'clock at night, you're about ready to get to bed, and you start thinking about stuff frantically, and you write it down and say, I need to talk to people about this tomorrow.
I don't
kind
know.
of winging it, or is it
No, it's
planned
not,
out?
It's not
systematically?
winging it. And, I like all this kind of started 5 years ago, and it was just me kind of working by myself, and everything's just kind of snowballed. I don't think that you could take like any normal person and throw them into my life and be
Right.
me, because they couldn't handle it. But it's just kind of like I've just kind of taken on more things, and as one thing gets more settled, then I can
Right.
take on like new projects. But I honestly don't know. There's no handbook for me or for what I do. I
Right.
think I'm just
Yeah.
a little slightly crazy. I do sleep like 8 hours.
We talk about that
7
though with
hours.
everything, like podcasts. Like we can give you some like tips and tricks to start a podcast, but there's no guarantee people are going to listen to your podcast unless they like who you are.
I
Right.
can't give you chemistry.
Right, and same with like YouTube and even Instagram, right? Like,
Right.
yeah, you should post every day, and yeah, you should make the pictures good, and
Right.
like, yeah, you can use hashtags, but like that doesn't mean everyone's going to be Insta famous.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
there's no like recipe for any of this.
Right. I just truly love what I do, and I'm passionate about what I do. And like the thing that fulfills me the most is being able to give back to other people and and to be able to teach others. And so, and we were talking about this before, but like, if I would still be doing what I'm doing, even if there was really no Ashley Horner, like my passions would still be the same, just at a much smaller level, because I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to reach as many people. So
Very
yeah.
cool.
Yes.
Yeah, people ask me, business questions and stuff, and sometimes it kind of makes me laugh because it's just so untraditional, and it's
taking risks.
Yeah, and then also just working hard. I mean, just, I don't know, the very basic stuff. Like
Right.
sometimes somebody asks you a question, it almost kind of frustrates me. Cause I'm
It's the
like,
same with
well, just-
lifting.
Just working hard. Don't be a
Right.
pussy.
Right.
Fucking go out there and start hustling,
Yeah. Don't expect to be handed to you.
And then also, like, I invented a product, so that's a way different. That's just, I can't, like, advise you, like, to, like, invent a product,
Right.
And so that kind of becomes difficult. But I have learned a lot of lessons over the years about business and about basically what to avoid. That's probably what I could, tell people the most about is like
And mistakes along the way.
Yeah, what the fuck to stay away from.
Right.
But other than that, it's just been kind of an organic thing, I guess you'd say.
Yeah. Well, I think those are the best lessons to learn,
Right.
Just how everything, you learn all your mistakes. And the mistakes doesn't necessarily mean that you failed. It just means
Yeah.
that you learned a hard lesson.
Right, exactly.
So that's the best lessons. You won't make the mistake again.
Move on and do more better.
Right. Yep.
Superman's going to suplex right now.
Need to read anything about our sponsors or anything? We need to do any of that?
Yeah,
or we're good?
whenever you sign off, lead the way.
No. That's all the time we have for today, folks.
Bye, friends.
Multiply your hustle, multiply your muscle, and make all your shits be tapered. I'm at Mark Smellybell on Instagram and Twitter.
Later. Thanks to all our sponsors, 8Man Strong Apparel at 8manstrong.com, bodybuilding.com for all your supplement needs, increase your bench, how much you bench.net, Power, the only strength magazine, available in digital and print, thepowermagazine.com. I'm Silent Mike, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube.
And muscle stim products from CompexUSA.com. Use the code PowerCast for 28% off the already reduced prices for a limited time only. I'm Jimmy D, STTV, everywhere that I want you to find me. Follow the show on Instagram. We are at Mark Bell's Podcast.
From the Lone Horse.
Great job.
Mark Bell's PowerCast is a production of SuperTrade.tv.